My movie recollection with Vincent Cloud.
And me, John Nemitz.
And this is the show where we talk about movies, draw them randomly, discussed quite quickly. And we try not to cheat on this show, but there are some people that come on the show who's like, oh, I don't know how to play the game properly, so I'm just going to choose exactly what movies I want to talk about. No, the spirit
But we
is,
like them anyway.
yes, let that be known. Please don't leave the show, guys. Um, but yeah, that's the show. So let's start off with me. I picked
Mm,
from my list here.
very
And by the
self-centered of you.
way, we're oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, it's the text is so small. I have no idea what the full title is, but hold on. Okay, it is a one, two, three, four, five. A five-word title starting with an F.
Hmm. First word starts in F. Fast and the Furious Five.
No.
Um,
Here's a tip. CGI.
CGI. All right. Is it a Final Fantasy movie? I do not know the
Yes.
full title.
Oh,
Something with a spirit, right? Uh,
yes. Okay, let me look actually. Final Fantasy. Oh shit, I missed. I don't know where it went. But I think it's like the Spirit Within or something, or the Spirits Within. Yeah.
I've never seen it. I've played like like a couple of the old NES Final Fantasy games, and I played some of Final Fantasy VII, which I think is like the one that everyone loves, but I don't know that the movie is based off of that one.
No, it's not at all. It's just I don't even know why it was called that. I, for one, didn't play the games. But from what I could tell, and I remember doing research as a kid. I'm like, this has nothing to do with those
Oh,
games.
really?
Yeah, like where's Cloud? Where's Vincent? Where's Vincent Cloud?
Where's all the great character names?
I love that. Every once in a while, I'll show my ID to someone, and they're like, "Whoa, dude, that's great." But no, it's computer graphics. It's all done with computers, and it's like Alec Baldwin does a voice, and then oh man, I don't remember the main woman anymore, but the creatures are kind of cool. They're like giant like microscopic beings. You know how weird they look? They're just blown up so that they're almost the size of us, and they're like phantoms. They could walk through shit. It's cool looking, but remember the writing being kind of stiff. Like there wasn't, I don't know. I'd probably have to watch it again, but I don't know. Yeah, nothing to do with the games. Um, I
Does
do
it is
remember,
it actually just like a story that takes place in the world of Final Fantasy?
I guess, man.
I'm just thinking of like it seemed like every video game movie was always like, what if the characters you love in the world that you love came into our world and did nothing like they normally do?
Right. This isn't Sonic or anything like that. No, it's just a human beings being confronted by these weird aliens. And there's a big emphasis on Gaia, and that's like Mother Earth, right? Mother Earth spirit or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. There's a big focus on that from what I remember. But I remember this being one of the earliest all CGI movies, right? And I remember my dad, he didn't like that. He was just like, this isn't real. And when Alec when Alec Baldwin is like, okay, we gotta go, we're gonna attack from this front or whatever. Let's go, people. And he's like, you shouldn't say people, they're not people. Like he really did not like that.
Wow. Who knew that would be such a controversial film to put on?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just but I don't know, my mom's kind of that way when it comes to certain stuff. I don't know. I think there's a big emphasis on art sometimes. Like a quick little tangent. My mom is an artist and she'd make stuff, and sometimes she'd purpose, or most times she would, all the time, I don't know, put one little thing that didn't was out of place, a little dot or something, just to say, see, only the creator can make something perfect. So I think it's some sort of weird native view on artistry or something and creativity. But anyways, he did not like and maybe they looked weird to him. Like I'm sure they don't look as smooth as I remember. They probably look really bizarre,
Like,
like Uncanny Valley.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I was gonna say that.
yeah,
When was that from? I remember that was one of the earlier like CGI video game movies, right?
yeah. 2001, I think it said. That's early. Is
Yeah.
was that before or after? I think it had to have been before. And no, Children of fuck. You know that Final Fantasy movie,
No, I don't.
Ambient Kids or damn it.
No. Do you know
Oh,
when Beowulf came out?
I want to say that was shit. I want to say 2008 for some reason, but
Yeah, that could be because like I remember that movie, like looking like a PS2 cutscene, basically. So I just wonder like
oh,
how something from even earlier would have looked.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think if there was anything cool. Again, I think it was the character designs were cool. I think the character or the monster designs were cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember being necessarily wowed by it either, so I was okay with my dad being like, "Get that out of our house," shit like that. Uh,
Yeah, you can obey him, but with something you don't even really care about.
yeah,
Like, okay, I'm willing to make this sacrifice for you, Pop.
gosh. All right, your movies, John.
All right. Let's see here. All right, we've got a three-word title. The first word begins with the letter M.
3 words, starts with an M. Mighty Joe Young.
It's an animated movie, more traditional hand-drawn animation,
Mm.
and it's an anime, I will say,
Oh,
which I know is not in your wheelhouse,
yeah.
but it is one of the more famous ones.
Oh, fuck. Mr. Something's Castle? No?
No, but it's that director. It's a Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Um, it's got some very famous imagery in it. Um, creature with an umbrella, a bus that's a cat.
It's all they all kind of bleed together. Not to be disrespectful, but like, yeah, I have no idea. Anyone
My
in it?
neighbor
Oh,
Totoro.
oh, no idea.
Yeah, I don't know who's in it. I've only watched like the subtitle version. Although for a lot of those like Miyazaki movies, Disney did like really good professional dubs for English language with like well-known actors and stuff. But I'm not sure what they did for this one.
Should I guess what it's about?
Please do.
Some girl befriends a spirit that's a neighbor, and it's perfectly cash, man. Like, I don't know. I've seen so many of his movies, I think, or at least in passing, because my family likes his stuff. But it's always just like a mishmash of spirits and stuff. And she will learn a lesson in life from a ghost. I don't know. That's my guess.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Like it's
Nice. Oh my
he's
God.
like lives out in the forest, Totoro, the weird, I don't know what he is, like a rabbit kind of thing, but like perfectly like egg shaped, but with like ears. Um Yeah, like it's I think a lot of his movies have to do with kids processing trauma or, like and then it kind of gets into like magical realism. You don't know if they're actually experiencing what they're seeing or if it's like a metaphor. But I don't know, it's like just fun to watch all the crazy stuff that happens. There's these little dust ball characters running around, like um the um yeah, so like Totoro, I believe lives in the woods, and so like she finds him when she's wandering around the woods, and he just kind of takes her along with him, and I don't even really remember what happens. It's just kind of like beautifully animated, beautifully drawn. Um, I I know I'm trying to remember what the plot even is. Like I think the girl's mom, there might even be two kids, like a younger one, um, and a not as young one. And I think their mom is sick and they're moving like out in this kind of shack in the woods to be close to their mom in a hospital or something. Or
Oh,
I don't remember exactly why, but like um yeah, she doesn't really even show until the very end of the movie. But yeah, I mean, I'd definitely recommend it for, just a nice thing to put on and watch.
that guy, is he the same guy who made like Spirited Away?
Yep.
Right. Okay, so then I would imagine these take a long time to make because they're
Oh,
drawn.
yeah, for sure. Like years.
So how many does he have? Like I think I've heard of a lot of them. I've just barely
Yeah,
seen
I
them.
mean, he's been working since the 80s.
Wow.
Um, so I think he has like a dozen of them at least.
Holy shit.
And he just won the best animated feature Oscar this year with The Boy and the Heron.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so where does this? Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, can't ask John to rank something.
Um, it's probably definitely in my top half of movies by him. Um, but I like the ones that are maybe for older kids more because I'm an older kid.
I like that I completely guessed the plot of like he's gonna
I mean,
befriend a ghost and then
yeah.
oh wow. Yeah, I did not celebrate outside, but inside I was like, I am so fucking good. Um oh, out of his movies, what do you think is a good beginner's movie? Because if I really sit down, I'll give some of these a try.
um, I guess like Spirited Away is typically seen as his, like people say it's his best movie, and I definitely like it a lot. Um, my favorite might actually be um Princess Mononoke.
Okay.
It's like that one's got like some good like nature versus industry kind of
Ah,
themes.
I thought it was gonna be nurture. The evil nurture. Let's go with movies. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So do we count what do you call it? Okay, fine. Two-word title starting with an H.
Happy Gilmore, uh,
No.
previously discussed, I believe.
Oh,
Um,
yes. Um, it's a sequel.
oh,
Uh,
so is two one of the words?
four. No, actually, there is no four on this for some reason.
Oh,
Uh, um,
um,
sword fighting.
sword fighting. Sequence H, sword fighting.
Um, Christopher Lambert. Oh, I don't think. Oh, there's You're not a fan, I think, just from that.
I don't know the name. It's not ringing a bell.
Immortals chopping each other's
Oh,
heads off.
Highlander.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Endgame, Highlander Endgame.
gotcha.
Have you
Okay, yeah, now I know who that is. I didn't recognize just the name though. Never seen any Highlander movie, although my grandma used to watch the TV show.
fuck yeah. Oh, that
Yeah,
was
so
awesome.
I'd catch a few random episodes of that over at her place. Um, Let me guess what it's about. Some guys are trying to chop each other's friggin' heads off.
But why though, John? Why?
Um, I think because there can be only one.
Oh, okay. You at least heard that. Okay. But it's so funny because literally every movie ends with Christopher Lambert becoming the last one. That's the that's the whole point.
And then another one just shows up again.
No, they just restart it. They're just like it's the
Oh, they're
same.
not even like chronological or whatever or continuous. They're just
Yeah. Well, I mean, two tried to think of a way. They're like, actually, they're clones from an alien planet. You're like, what? Are you kidding me? And then,
Yeah, sometimes it's just better if you don't give any explanation.
oh my gosh, yeah. But hey, let's talk about this fourth one though. This was significant because you mentioned the TV show. That was that actor is in this movie with Christopher Lambert.
Oh.
So it ups the stakes because you're like, wait a minute, there can be only one. And you got two, you got two protagonists, one from the movies and one from the TV show. Who's gonna fucking win? So it was interesting. I mean, they're not enemies at all. They're fucking cousins. They're I think it's Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod, and then on the TV show Duncan McLeod of the Clan McLeod. Um, yeah, I just remember the villain being kind of lame. It was mostly just about having these two actors or whatever, you know.
Yeah, you're like, they should have been a Vincent McLeod.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, I love that. I used to want to be able to call myself that. But then my mom's like, you be proud of your heritage. You're not fucking Scottish or whatever. I'm like, Jesus, just playing around.
Just make believe, mom.
Yeah. She's like, bullshit. Throw that movie out of here.
This is all these movies on the burn pile outside of the Cloud household.
Um, okay, so this is kind of giving it away. So and it's so lamely done too, because there's always flashbacks in these movies. They're like, oh, how were they during the Renaissance time? What were they doing? It's always kind of fun to put them in different time periods.
Mhm.
But anyways, it's Connor and Duncan, and they're training, and then Connor makes Duncan pull this move where it's like, oh, see, if you like this is basically checkmate, like you will die from this fucking thing, unless I don't apply or whatever, right? So already you're like, oh, that's weird. That's really kind of shakily introduced into the movie. I wonder if that's going to pay off in the end. And sure enough, after they kill the villain, they're like, or no, after they're like, we're not powerful enough, the two of us, to kill the villain. One of us has to power up because that's what happens when you kill another immortal. So Connor tricks Duncan into doing the move against him so he could kill himself on Duncan's sword. So yeah, it was weird.
Hmm.
And then Duncan gets powerful enough and defeats the fucking.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm becoming just as grumpy as my parents.
Can be only one. There's three of them right there.
Oh God. But I don't know. I think it's probably two is the weakest one. This is better than two. Three is better than four, and one's the best. So if you ever check
So
those movies out.
yeah, I've heard. So in one, Sean Connery is in it in this thing that takes place in Scotland, but doesn't he play like a Spaniard or something like that?
Yeah, I don't even get that at all.
Like finally, the movie where his accent is perfect what we need, and then
Yeah, I don't remember the reasoning behind that anymore either. But do check out that first one. That first one's pretty awesome. Great villain. What's his name? Clancy Brown is the villain. Yeah, and you have a charismatic lead. I've always liked Christopher Lambert, even though he could barely talk English. He's French. Yeah. All right, from yours.
all right, let's give the old wheel a spin. All right, two words, starts with S.
Two words starts with S. Superman.
Um,
Where's that one word?
it's a, I guess a buddy comedy. Actually, I think this one's a sequel. Um, oh man, I barely remember the first one. How am I going to remember anything from this one?
It's a sequel, huh? Okay.
It's got Owen Wilson in it.
Oh, Shanghai Nights.
Yep, that's right.
I'd rather talk about Shanghai Noon,
Yeah,
man.
wouldn't everybody in the world?
Um, fuck. All I remember at the end, Jackie Chan is cutting like ropes and stuff from the beams, and the bad guy's like, whoa, whoa, and shit like that. And then he dies from that. And yeah, it was fine. It just wasn't as good as that first one. I don't know.
Yeah, this is one I saw, you know, not long after it came out, and that's way too long ago for me to remember anything about it. Um,
They go to Britain, right? Or London or whatever.
yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, so
I
you
mean,
lose all that cowboy western
oh yeah.
feel. Yeah.
Love Jackie Chan though. I just
Yeah.
watched Police Story. It's one of his Hong Kong movies.
Yeah, yeah. Michelle Yao, right? Is she on that
Yeah.
one?
Yep.
Michelle, yes, I like to call her. Uh, let's see here. Okay, you know what? I want to at least say something about Shanghai Noon because it's so damn
Please,
good.
please do, yeah.
The best, one of my favorite quotes is, after Jackie Chan is like running lost through the desert or whatever, and then he gets to the bar and he spots Owen Wilson. He's like, you gave me bad directions. And Owen Wilson is like, no, I give you wrong directions.
Yeah, he's great at like the deadpan, like still saying something snarky, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a good team up. It's just, yeah, I don't remember liking Shanghai Nights as much for some reason. Yeah, too bad.
Too
Uh,
bad.
have you seen Rush Hour, the Rush Hour movies?
Yes, at least one and two. Are there more than that? I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen three, but like that's kind of like the same idea where they're like, "Oh, take the partnership and go somewhere else." It
Mhm.
just didn't work. I just don't remember anything from the London thing. Like, who cares?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we've got all of America right here. Like,
Well, let's not just, be shitty on it. Where could they have brought it to make it better? Because remember, in Rush Hour, they go from America, where he was fish out of water, Jackie Chan. Now Chris Tucker's the fish out of water, being in China.
right. And I mean
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like that's a good like flip of it.
Well, why
Um,
couldn't they do that with Owen Wilson? Bring him to China.
I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, that's
They
weird.
probably could and should have done that.
All right. Well, let's choose from my pile, eh?
Yes.
Hopefully this thing reshuffles. All right. Wow. Okay. All right. This is a one, two, three, four, five, six, seven word.
7 words. Okay.
Yeah, starting with S as in snake.
Snake. S. Show Me the Way to Go Home. Is that a movie?
Thematically, you kind of tie into it a little bit. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Um, let's see here. I don't know the director. Shit. And if I think I announce any actors, you might get it right away. But oh, Christopher Lloyd.
For Lloyd. Hmm. Not Back to the Future. It's not the Addams
This
Family.
is a sequel. This is another sequel.
Okay.
Um,
Man,
I'm trying to think.
keep
Who
those
the
hints coming.
okay, well after that though, it's a science fiction.
Okay.
Um, accelerated growth.
Okay. Wait. Okay. Accelerated growth.
Ah,
Hmm.
okay, well, what? Someone's calling. No. Leonard Nimoy. Fuck's sake.
Leonard Nimoy. Is it a
Yeah.
Star Trek picture?
Yes. Which one though?
Uh, I don't know. I didn't know Christopher Lloyd was in one.
Yeah, he's what a bad guy.
Is it one of the original five?
Yes.
Um, Never watched any of them.
Oh,
The
really?
Wrath of Khan. That's only four. Where's that's only six.
Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock.
Oh,
So
okay.
so you never seen it?
No.
Go ahead, man. What
Um,
do you think?
all right. Spock is missing. He maybe is uh abducted on a mission by someone and they have to go retrieve him and they succeed.
Wrong.
Dang.
Wrong. Dead wrong. Speaking of dead, Spock is dead, right? It actually starts with his what he's been dead. Spoilers, he dies in Wrath of Khan. I'm sorry. That's like it's one of the greatest movies, and that's one of the biggest surprises is that he dies. But this one starts off, and Kirk is like, God damn it, I missed my friend. And they're like, hold on, Captain. It looks like this planet is rejuvenating any life that it has. And since they shot his casket out, it happened to land on that planet. So now he's actually being brought back to life. So he's like,
Wow.
oh, yeah. So they go there, but it's like falling apart because it's the planet's accelerating. It's going to eventually just die again or something. Um, so Spock is like a little kid when they meet him, like a little baby. Then he just starts growing throughout the movie. Like one
Okay, yeah.
time he's like has terrible growing pains as a teenager. It's like ah. They're like, oh, that's when a Vulcan reaches age, he will have these terrible growth things, and it's just like ah, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, and you don't see Nimoy, who is Spock, until like the very fucking end. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Um, you just get like all these different versions of Spock and Kirk being like, "Oh, my friend," and shit like that. And then Christopher Lloyd plays a great Klingon bad guy. Some people like back in the day, they're like, "How can we take it serious? It's the fucker from Taxi," you know. But I think Christopher Lloyd's talented. I was convinced he was an evil dude. Yeah,
Yeah, awesome. Reminds me
nice.
of the Futurama episode, which I'm sure where they were riffing off of this now that you say it, but they had the Fountain of Aging.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Um, but no, you know what? They always say, oh, the first one sucks. The first Star Trek sucks, motion picture. Then Wrath of Khan is great. Then Search of Spock sucks. Then Voyage Home is great. And it's like every other, they said five was bad. Then they loved six. In my opinion, the first one's kind of hard to watch, even though it's not bad. It's just very long and drawn out and, kind of boring. It's so good.
Like,
So
what if
yeah,
we wrote an episode, but then like put in filler to make it a movie? Like,
yeah, that was so weird. I don't know. But Search for Spock though, it was cool. There's a lot of effects, like, because the planet is just accelerating and falling apart around them, and some cool creatures on that planet. I enjoy it. Yeah, I don't get the hate at all. I thought it was cool. Nah. All right.
Probably watch it eventually.
Yeah. I say go right ahead. All right. Should we go from your pile?
All right. Um, okay, I think this is 5 words, starting with a U.
Uh, uh, I don't know.
It's a sequel,
Wow, a lot of
and
sequels.
one of the words is a number. It's
Uh,
mid 90s action flick.
Universal Soldier or something?
Nope.
Oh.
Um, takes place on a train.
Oh. Oh, Under Siege in Dark
Yes.
Territory?
Yep.
Wow,
Under
sweet.
Siege 2, Dark Territory.
Yeah, fucking okay. Well, not as good as the first one. I like the first one a lot. Second one's okay. The villains aren't as cool. Katherine Heigl, she's hot.
Yeah.
She was in there. Um, yeah, I think after a while I was like, that's Steven Seagal guy. He really can't fight, can he? He just kind of like hacks at your neck or something. And yeah, this was around the time where I was kind of turning on him. Because at first I was like, oh, it's cool and shit. And now I'm just like, he can't really act either. Like
He can't really fight. He can't really act. How did he become one of the biggest stars of his generation?
do you know the story behind that?
No, not really.
Oh my God. Literally, a producer he took a bet. He's like, I could take any motherfucker out on the street and turn him into a star.
All
And
right.
yeah, he went out there and he came across Steven Seagal. It's like you. Yeah, and like after a while, you're like, yeah, he can't really, he's very, very limited. But yeah, this isn't my favorite of his. Like I said, this was probably where I looked across the table at my wife and realized the love was gone. Uh, yeah, what do you remember about it?
Remember some good train action. What's the whole thing? Like Dark Territory is where they don't receive they can't really receive satellite signals anymore or something like that. So
Yeah.
they can track this everything that happens on this train except for when it's in this one area or something.
Mm.
Um, I remember is there like a CD-ROM that plays heavily into the plot
Oh shit, I don't remember. I know, yeah, it has the
and like
bad
a
guy
big
is a computer dude,
yeah,
right?
like a big chunky laptop kind of thing. Um,
Awesome.
yeah. Is Katherine Heigl like his daughter or something or niece?
Maybe niece. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, yeah. I don't know.
it's
What
just
do you remember more of the plot?
no, it's just on a train the whole time. It just wasn't as exciting as the first one. I think that first one was really awesome. Like the deaths were cooler in the first one, and like because he dispatched everyone, and oh shit, we got Dave coming in here. Um, but that wasn't the case with the second one. There was like not a lot of deaths. There wasn't even any nudity, which is like you don't need that, but I remember it happening in the first one.
Hmm.
Dave, what's up, man?
Hey guys, how's it going?
We're talking about Dark Siege 2.
Under Siege 2,
Oh
Dark
shit.
Territory.
Yes. Have you seen
I've
that?
never, no, I never heard of it.
Are you a Seagal fan? Steven Seagal?
No, like I've heard of him, but I've never gone out of my way to watch a movie of his.
Okay. Well, I was saying like this was basically the turning point for me where I'm like, oh, he can't, he's not very good in any of this stuff? It really didn't help that the movie wasn't good. I think that's what really kind of made it stand out, you know, because if you got like, you know, in the first one, he had Tommy Lee Jones, Gary Busey, like awesome actors that he could kind of like go against. This one, there was nothing. Like the bad guy, he was like this sarcastic dude. He's like, some of it was true. Oi. So not the greatest. Should we do one more movie and then get out of here?
Yeah.
All right. Dave, do you have a movie that you just seen, perhaps?
Um, what did I see recently?
I don't know. Don't blurt it out though.
I
Oh my gosh. My shuffle isn't working.
literally just watched a movie, but I don't even remember what it was.
Perfect. Okay, well,
So no, I know. Can't think of
who's
it.
up? Whose money movie are we talking? Mine?
You're up, Vince.
Europe. Let's go. Holy shit. I don't know why this is here because I barely remember this.
Oh no.
Two-word title, another sequel. Wow. Starts with an R, as in Ramsey.
Rambo 2, Rocky 2.
Rocky 2. There it is. Have you guys seen it?
Nope, only seen the first one and have no intention to change that.
Yes. If Dave, have you seen this?
I can't say that I've seen it like beginning to end, but I've seen the majority of all the Rocky movies, just bits and pieces over the years. Because it like they would just be on marathons on TNT and TBS or USA Network, just for like the entire like from the year like 1999 to like 2008. You could always find them on TV.
Well, guess what happens in this one? I'm curious if you guys could figure it out.
Does Rocky have to rematch Apollo Creed?
What? Yes, exactly. Exactly. You know what? Okay, so I've been on record saying Rocky 1 not only is it my favorite Rocky movie, but just probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I really, really like that movie.
Actually,
Um,
coincidentally, I just listened to the episode where you and Matt were talking about the first Rocky.
oh my gosh. Sweet. That is cool. So nice to meet a fan. Okay, so what I remember about this, there's not as much heart. You know, like that was, you know, he was the true underdog in that first movie, and you saw him training in the meat department, you know, punching beef and shit like that. Uh, but in this one, he's got a little bit more money, and it's the rematch between, you know, with Carl Weathers, the great Carl Weathers, RIP. It just wasn't as good. I don't know. It's hard to describe. It just wasn't the first one. There's a lot of elements. You know, there's the training montages. You know, all the characters are back. Mickey. You know, Adrian's brother. Oh, I can't think of his name anymore. But he,
Adrian's pet turtle.
that was Rocky's pet turtles, Cuff and Link.
All right.
But it's yeah, it just wasn't as good. And I think there's a definitive winner this time. Um, yeah, it was weird because I think they both knock each other down, and it's all about like who can get up or whatever. It just wasn't there. I don't know. I don't recommend it. It's fine. It's just it's gonna tart, tart your
Taint,
experience. Taint.
tarnish.
You could tart something, couldn't you? Oh, now this is tart.
I like tarts.
Okay.
Oh, I removed all the sugar from it. No, I tarted it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I just want just love Rocky just thinking about it right now. But mm,
I love
they
with the Rocky movies, it for me, it's all about the montages, the workout montages, music, the fights. Like, I'm not really big into like this, like any of the story with him and his wife, or like the beginnings of the movie. Like, I like the meat and potatoes of just him punching the stuff in the butcher in the
yeah.
freezer, like that kind of stuff. I don't know. Like Rocky to me was like something that gets you like when I was like 10 years old, you'd be like taking milk jugs out of the refrigerator and curling them because you're like, yeah, I want to be like Rocky.
Well, not even when you were a child. Like I remember when I was living with you, you were, or no, when you were working out, you would drink whole eggs.
That was inspired by Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And because it was like I was too poor to buy protein powder, but like a dozen eggs is like $2. So
Oh my
I get
gosh.
that protein.
All right. Well, yeah, Rocky 2. It's all right. I think all those Rocky movies are just fine. They're just cornier, though. You know, they get cheesier. They kind of like the Rambo movies almost. That's just what Sly did back in the day. He was very sly about it. He was like, "Oh, wait a minute. I thought this was a caring, gentle movie about a boxer who just wants to go the distance." Like, no, it's about 80s bullshit, you know. All right. Well, you know what? That's a fine movie to end on. Like, subscribe, comment. This was my movie recollection with Pizza Cloud.
John Nemitz.
And a little bit of David Lauer.
Just the tip. Oh, and here's another tip though. Go to mymovierecollection.com for all your recollection needs.
And subscribe in your favorite podcatcher.